Hi, Nancy Baker here. Today's Abstract Sifter topic is using the EPA custom ribbon. I'm in version 8 of the Abstract Sifter. Version 8 introduces a whole new custom ribbon which you can reach by clicking on this button right here. Clicking here brings up a whole bunch of new icons and menu items that we're going to explore. Today I'll get to some of them. First of all, this one over here called Choose View. With version 8, there are 2 new sheets to the Abstract Sifter, or there can actually be even more than that, depending upon how much curation you do. And so this just helps you kind of clean up and look at only what you want to look at. So I can hide the Abstract Sifter forms, and that gives me only some of my curation forms and a couple of other sheets that we'll talk about in a later video. I'm going to hide those, and then I'm going to show Abstract Sifter forms or sheets. And that brings me to the regular old Abstract Sifter, and you don't have to worry about those other sheets. Right now I'm on the main sheet, and I'm going to click on then Notes, because I've already taken some notes on some articles that I want to do chemical curation from. This is going to be an example of how to curate chemicals from a PDF. I double click on the row in the note sheet. That brings me to this curation form, and here I'm curating my notes. To make the abstract easier to look at, I can put in this carriage return, and then I've got a little bit of space here. I can change the font, make it bigger, and I can also colorize some terms. So I was looking at this earlier, and I was going to colorize some terms, and you can keep changing these if you want. Make it easier to read. Once I decide that I want to get the chemicals off of this article, out of the PDF, I can click on PDF info. If it's open access and the software that I'm using knows that it's open access, you'll get this little message here, and then you can download the PDF and attach it. That just means you're going to have a link. And I can go ahead then and get ready to curate the data from this PDF. So I'm going to say click on the data curate, and what that does, it makes a new sheet with the PMID, the PubMed ID of the citation with the first 5 letters of the first author. Up here we have the link to the PubMed ID and the link to the PDF. And so I can just go into the PDF and do some copying and pasting if I want. But I'm going to show you how to just extract data from tables. And this is the table of information I want to extract. So I could copy that and paste it. That might work really well. Who knows? I could try it. But I'm going to click on this button, Extract Tables, from the menu here, menu group called Working with PDFs. It asks me here if that's indeed the PDF I want to use. And now what's happening after I click that button is that the Abstract Sifter is opening that PDF using Microsoft Word. And Microsoft Word, when it opens a PDF, it tries to sense things like tables. And when it finds a table in the PDF, it makes it into a table object in Word. And the Abstract Sifter iterates through the rows and columns of the table objects, and then writes those rows and column values to this sheet in the Abstract Sifter. A lot of times there are things that are perceived as tables by Word that aren't really tables, and you just can delete them. Here indeed is that first table that I told you I was interested in. I'm not going to worry about the other tables today, so I'll just go ahead and delete the data for that. So this is the table that I want to play around with. And again, let's go back and look at that table on the PDF. And there it is. And I can then look, and actually another way to sort of be really to do curation is to just, and here I can make sure that I'm getting everything. Like this name is a bit strange here. Maybe it's not correctly coming across. Yeah, there should be 7, a dash here. So we'll keep this here just for checking. All right, now the next thing I want to show you is that, and I'm going to pretend like I want these chemicals to maybe do a QSAR with or something like that. So I want to get some more information on these chemicals. So the first thing that I'm going to do is get the DSS tox identifier. That is our identifier at the EPA from our DSS tox database. So I'm going to actually get rid of this. Let's just clean this up a little bit. And oops, I didn't mean to do that. Delete here. Okay. I'm going to move everything over, and I could just copy and paste, but sometimes talking and doing things at the same time just doesn't work. Okay, I'm just going to move all this stuff over with formatting. I do a copy and paste just as well. Now what I'd like right here, and this is just the way I do things, I'd like to have my DSS tox identifier right here. So I'm going to select those cells and go to this button up here that says, how do you want to get the DTSX ID? Do you want to get it the chemical name or CAS or with smiles? And I have CAS and I have a chemical name, so I'm going to do that. So my name is in B, so let's see how that works. So I found all but one of these CAS using the name. Evidently this is, the gray means that the name that we're using is a synonym and not the preferred name. That's okay. And this one was not found. So I'm going to go over here and make sure that dioxy-3H perfluoronate. Okay. We're not finding it by name, so I'm going to click here again. And now I'm going to use the CAS. And indeed, if I had used the CAS for all of them at the beginning, they would all work just fine. There, we found it with the CAS number. So let's go. All of these are hyperlinked, so I'm going to go to this chemical and see what the actual preferred name was. Yeah, it's a little bit different. So one of the things here I can do, instead of, I'm going to go get the preferred name for these, and that's this button here. And this is our EPA preferred name. And what it wants to know is input to this function is what column is the DTSX ID, and A is right. So using A, the value in A is input is going to run a function that goes to our APIs and gets the preferred name. As you can see, our preferred name is slightly different, a good bit different from the input name. But we found it via the CAS. And we can go. Oh, I think I looked at the wrong one. Let me go to this one. CAS 958. Yeah, there we go. Yep, that's the same CAS. Right, so in my, I think I can get rid of this now. So in my little scenario here, I want to get some other data. So the other options that I have, so I've gotten the DSS tox ID, I've gotten the preferred name, showing you how to do that. I have a couple other things I can get. I can get the INCHI key or the PubMed CID. I already have CAS, I don't need that, or the UPAC name. But what I'm going to do here, I think, is get the INCHI key. Okay. Now maybe I want some structural information, so I can select the output place, the output cells for the function, and then I think I want smiles. Let's do QSAR ready smiles. Again, where's the input going to be? And there are my smiles. And there are lots of other things you can get here that might be interesting to you. mass, molecular formula, ToxCast active. ToxCast is our in vitro assay system at the EPA, and we can find out whether these chemicals have been tested in our assay system and how many positive hit calls were found. Some of them were not tested. These were tested, some in a couple hundred assays and some in many assays, nearly 1,000. The other thing that you can do here is that you can just highlight any column, any cell on a row, and look at the synonyms for a chemical. And you can see these all have long names. The synonyms are then described to as whether they're deleted casts, valid, and other. Okay, so that is an introduction to the new custom EPA ribbon in Abstract Sifter version 8. Thank you.